What is up guys? We are going to play Pokemon FireRed Nuzlocke in hardcore mode. The indicated rules will be shown on the left side of the screen, and without further ado, let's start off our journey. In here, we are going to show the essential battles only, which include Gary, Giovanni, and the league leaders. With our first party, we can see that we have a Charmander, a Rattata, and another Rattata since we're not implying the rule of the dupes complex or simply the duplicate Pokemon capturing system, whatever. So as you can see, we only have 3 out of 5 capturable Pokemon since we lost along the grinding a PG and a Caterpie. They died trying to reach level 14, so that's my fault. Having an easy victory against Gary, we're now ready to face our first gym battle with Brock. Fun fact, my Pokemon are named after weapons across various video games. For example, my Charmander is named Buster, which is from the Final Fantasy VII first weapon of Cloud Strife, Buster Sword. So, in this fight, we're fighting against a Geodude who is rock and ground, and those are 2 weaknesses of a fire type of Charmander and also water. So, luckily, this Geodude is trying to bulk up and we just had a clean fight. So after Onix switched in, I switched in Frenzy and did a tail whip since I know that Onix has a very high defense. And since Frenzy was constricted or bind rather, we can't switch him out. So we had to just use tail whip again and again to invest on that Metal Claw of Charmander. So we say goodbye to Frenzy and we switch out Buster. Let's go Buster. Buster, we use a Metal Claw, showing that we have more than 50% damage. After using that Rock Tomb, our speed fell. Therefore, on the second time, Onix was the first to move, and luckily we had a 2 HP left and ensuring the win of Buster's first gym victory. After a clutch performance by Buster, yet we are facing another gym battle wherein we are at a disadvantage. We also have new addition to the team, a Mankey, and our Gatling evolved into a Raticate. Luckily in this fight, Gatling one-shot that Staryu. However, on this fight with Starmie, we only dealt a 40% damage at most, I guess, which we're hoping to knock it out since we know that this Starmie can recover just like that and use a super potion with Misty. So that first Hyper Fang dealt a more than 50%, but we lost Gatling along the way and that was so hard for us. And having this, I made a misclick on the Karate Chop and I forgot that Starmie is a Psychic type. And that it goes the Super Potion and we are so unlucky. So another Mega Punch will kill it. However, we are unlucky again and Sonic Striker dies. It's all up to you, Buster. With that Mega Kick, we knock him out again. A clutch performance by Buster, saving that 6 HP once again. Good job Buster, am I right? Now we're facing off the third battle with Gary in the Nugget Bridge. In this fight, we only have a Charmeleon left and we have nowhere else to go to catch another Pokemon since they all died grinding or facing off a trainer battle or gym battle. And that's unfortunate. So we're relying on luck on this one, hoping that we'd reach level 24 and not over leveling since we have a level cap. In this fight, we can see that Buster is really striving hard, and luckily this Squirtle didn't use his bubble, and although he used a water gun in here, we have less than 50% HP. When this Mega Kick hit, I knew that luck was on my side since it had a 70% accuracy. And this Abra doesn't have any moves left or attack moves, therefore we're safe. And the last fight will be against Rattata. His quick attack critically hit and had our 6 saving HP once again, that second time. After that scary carry by Buster, we caught an Oddish above Nugget Bridge and a Spearow and PG along the way. They all evolved to their next stage, which is a Gloom, Fearow, and Pidgeotto. To start off, we first started with a Pinwheel and we switched out Buster instead of Pinwheel and had a good fight against Pidgeotto as he puts out War Turtle. We put out Pinwheel once again, and we knew from this point that Pinwheel was gonna win this one since water is weak against grass. As he puts out Kadabra, we switched out immediately our Seraph or Pidgeotto to prevent this, since Psychic is strong against Poison type, and Poison type is the second nature of Gloom. It was a clean save for this, and we just showed another battle wherein we used a different Pokemon just to prevent over-leveling, since I know that there are more levels inside the gym of Lieutenant Surge. This is just to prevent level cap once again. For our third gym battle, we are facing off the electric type Lieutenant Surge. So as we talk to how he zapped his enemies, we showed off our Buster. Buster, nail them this one. With that Screech, we're already scared of that shockwave that we know Lieutenant Surge has, wherein it is unavoidable like that one. And luckily, Buster has a very high, I think, special defense, wherein it prevented that one-shot knockout. And we're just hoping to put out Buster as much as we can, since we have two flying types, and probably a single shockwave would kill them both. So we have a backup Pinwheel in case Buster dies. And the shockwave, the scary shockwave, dealt more than half HP. And now we switched out Pinwheel, and Pinwheel obviously is trying to nail this one. And let's see if he'll defeat it with the full heal. With that Absorb, there's 1 HP left, but that annoying potion. Oh, by the way, we're not using any items, just so you know, because it's indicated in the rules. And knowing that Poison, nailed it with that Raichu. Our fourth gym battle with Erica, the Grass type. We have 3 Pokemon who can stand against her Pokemon. And we caught, by the way, an Ekans along the way and evolved into an Arbok. So Poison is strong against Grass, but Poison against Poison is a half. Therefore, all of Erica's Pokemon is Grass and Poison. Therefore, a Poison type would only deal normal damage and no advantageous types. So in here, you can see that Buster is paralyzed. With the paralyzation, it is slowed down and has a 25% chance of not moving his successful ability. And against the team, you can see that only Buster is the one fighting, but I was scared in case there might be something, a critical hit, a high roll, for preventing that to happen, and he put out Seraph instead to secure the win. Alright, that was an easy one, right? After a good victory against Erica, we're facing off Giovanni for the first time in their Rocket Hideout base. So what does Giovanni have? He has 3 Pokemons. So we put out who? Putting out Pinwheel first, since we know he is a rock type or ground type, whatever. And Pinwheel will just nail this one, as Grass is strong against ground or rock. And he's just nailing this in easy clean from Pinwheel. But we got irritated and we just put out Buster instead to finish that win. Seeing this, we are playing it risky, since Kangaskhan can have a critical hit and one-shot Buster, but luckily we have a Brick Break with Buster and knocked out that Kangaskhan. Now we are at the Tower of Lost Souls, where we face Gary, our rival, for another battle. In here, we just became lazy and just put out Buster to finish them all. We know Buster can handle them, and it's actually a limit test on how much damage he can take. In here, we're playing a risky play against Wartortle, but luckily Wartortle is trying to bulk up and did not prove anything. Easy win, and just a good win, good victory. We can see the Pokemon he has, and Buster nailing this one, where he's level 36 and evolving into a Charizard, our favorite Pokemon. Let's go, Charizard! We now head on to Silphco. Before we battle Giovanni for the second time, we battle our rival, Gary. Alright, so in here we fight Gary and we start off with Buster fighting his Pidgeot and nailing it once again. So a simple battle, flamethrower. By the way, we have a new addition to the team, a Horsey, and we evolved it into a Seadra, and also our Pidgeotto evolved into a Pidgeot. So now we have 6 Pokemon at their final stages, or achievable stages, since Seadra requires a trade evolution in order to become a Kingdra. So in this game, we only have Seadra. So in fighting Blastoise, we have a Pinwheel, and just, performing his best, her best rather, and executing that Blastoise. As he puts out Execute, I switched out to Seraph, and Seraph having a very effective move against a grass type. I went for Seraph. I switched it up to Fearow in order to finish it, since Pidgeot is always confused and does not know where to go, but luckily Shojin can nail it. On the last Pokemon, we have a Growlithe, and we face it off with EKG Cannon as a super effective move of water against fire. Now we face off Giovanni. Let's go. As he starts off with a Nidorino, we use a Pinwheel since they're both poison type and it won't be that effective moves. We switch out to EKG Cannon and use our Surf since we want to level up also EKG Cannon, and Charizard, I think, is chilling out somewhere over there. Since Nidoqueen is water type, the moves of EKG Cannon is super effective against a ground type. And having a Kangaskhan, it's a normal type, we use our Buster in order to do that super effective power move, but yet Flamethrower is stronger. And we switch out Pinwheel to fight this rock Pokemon. Rock is a scary type against Charizard since rock types are 4 times effective. Sabrina, the psychic type gym, wherein we use Arbok to start off. And it's named Whiplash, by the way, by the movie of J.J. Jameson. And so we used Arbok since she has a bite move, but it's also scary and risky since Arbok is poison type, wherein psychic type is twice the damage against poison types. So as Mr. Mime's barrier, his defense went up, but it wasn't that useful. Now we have an Alakazam with another bite and it got more than 50%. Unluckily, Alakazam went first on the second time, therefore they have a matching speed output, and it was a sad moment for us as we say goodbye to Whiplash. That few moments will be avenged by Shojin. So Shojin, show them what you've got. And with a critical hit from that drill pack, Shojin is now angry and can redeem that Whiplash as an easy claim from Shojin. Now we're on to our 6th gym battle, or the poison type Koga. So the strong moves against poison type are either psychic or ground, but we don't have both, so we put out Buster to do the rest in performing a power damage output. And with his flamethrower defeated it and claimed our 6th badge. With our 7th badge, the fire type Blaine. We can use our Seadra or our Tentacruel. By the way, we had a new addition to the team, a Tentacool, and evolved it into a Tentacruel hybrid. So EKG Cannon will put it out, and he's nailing every one and last of them, since water is 2 times effective against fire type. And it's easy win, one shot, all for the EKG Cannon. Now we face off our last gym battle, the 8th. And the last time we fight Giovanni with the ground type or rock, I think, gym type leader. So he started us off with Rhyhorn and we use Nunchaku to do the one shot from here, since Non-Choco is stronger relatively to Seadra, but it's also risk since Non-Choco has a poison type and ground types are 2 times effective against poison type. And luckily we just one-shot them all with Non-Choco. Now we face off the last battle before the Elite Four with our rival Gary. So what do you have this time, Gary? He puts out the Pidgeot first, and as always I use Buster to fight off that, and we just skipped it up part to the clean moves of nailing his team. As you can see, I just switched up and played it strategically, and switching out, letting everyone have the fun for their moment and time to shine. Easy win for the fight. Now we face off our first Elite Four. Before we face off Lorelei, we will have some few wise words to the person before the gates. What does she say? She says good luck. We face off Lorelei on the first round. And let's see. She's a water ice type, I think. And we started off with Charizard since we have this tradition of using our favorite Pokemon to fight off the first Pokemon of the Elite Four. A fighting type is strong, but this one gave me the hearts for real. Since that Surf almost one-shot Buster with a critical hit, 2 times effective but critical, so it's more. And with that 7 HP saving his life, Buster destroyed that Dugong. From here on out, I know it's an ice type, you can do it again, but you can't because Buster will die. We put out EKG Cannon since we're predicting that it will use a water type, and we use Pinwheel. I stand corrected, we use Pinwheel and it is a water move with that dive, and we know that from this, Pinwheel is faster, so we can do a grass move on our next turn. We use a Pelt Dance, hoping that it will be a 2-turn move, so that we can switch it out to the other Pokemon. And he puts out a Slowbro, a water and psychic type, and Pinwheel will automatically use another Petal Dance. From here, let's hope Pinwheel does another one, since Pinwheel is faster than Slowbro. However, Slowbro uses a full restore, regaining that health. We have to switch out someone, but we got lucky and got the critical hit from Pinwheel, destroying that Slowbro. Now, we face off the last Pokemon, I think, and it's Lapras. We are scared, Pinwheel might die, but we cannot risk it, and I was just thankful that this Ice Beam did not kill Pinwheel. We have to switch it out. Pinwheel is confused. We have when a Pokemon's confused, it has a 75% chance of attacking itself once, and a 35% chance of attacking itself twice, and a 15% chance of attacking itself 3 times. So in here, we're just relying on the statistics of water type is stronger, and it would reduce the damage from another water type and damage dealing, you know. This is just a show of power against Non-Choco versus Lapras. So we know that Non-Choco must be, or EKG Cannon must be, either one of them must be alive in order to face that Blastoise from the end. As we know how this game works, this game is more on a game of knowledge, and we're relying on our knowledge that we know that someone must tank that damage. And we know that Non-Choco is much more important or significant than this seizure or EKG Cannon. So we rely on that only. As Seraph did not finish Lapras, Lorelei used again another full restore, making that health full again. And we know that his wing attack deals 50% damage, but we were unlucky on the second time since the chances of statistics of the confusion was unlucky for us, and it was really high since it was 70%. We use Pinwheel here, and upon switching in, it's no longer confused, and now we use a Giga Drain to restore that few health that Pinwheel has. From this, Lorelei puts out her last Pokemon. We cannot switch out Charizard since Jinx is a Psychic and Ice type. We cannot risk Pinwheel here since she is also a Poison type, wherein Psychic is ×2. We just hope EKG Cannon does well here. And After knowing that EKG Cannon was asleep, we switched it out to Shojin. Shojin, we cannot risk again. We can, but we're looking forward to use Shojin against the Psychic type on our next Elite 4, hoping that we win this one. So in here, we're just really relying on EKG Cannon since sleep lasts from 1 to 5 turns, as far as I know. So from here, EKG Cannon is faster, but he was unlucky and probably got the 4-turn sleep. We know that Charizard is faster than Jinx by a mile, by a lot, to be honest. So we used Flamethrower and it was a sacrifice. We only have 4 Pokemon left to face the Elite 4, rather Elite 3. We now face the second Elite 4 Bruno with the Fighting Rock Ground type Pokemon. We start off our Nunchaku one-shotting his first Onix and another Surf to one-shot his second Onix and a third Surf to not one-shot his Hitmonchan. We cannot switch out our Buster since we know that a Rock Tomb can kill Buster since it's 4 times effective and can critically strike. We're hoping on statistics here and we switched out to Buster to one-shot that Hitmonlee and have at least, I guess, more than 75% damage to Machamp and another Wing Attack to finish the job. The third Elite Four, Agatha, the Ghost/Psychic type leader. We start off with Buster to outpower those Pokemon Agatha has. And however, with the Poison Fang, we were badly poisoned. A badly poison is a poison that increases its damage over time. So as you can see here, it's around 15 to 20 damage of HP. And as we continue to fight this Golbat in terms of power, we can destroy that Golbat. And when it turns to Arbok, his Sludge Bomb dealt a 50 damage, and remember that our first poison was 15 and now it's 40. So that's what badly poisoned is. There are 2 types of poison, the bad poison and the normal poison. We put out Nunchaku to prevent the poison since Nunchaku is a water poison type Pokemon, finishing the job with the outpower damage against Arbok, Hunter, and now Gengar. We switch out Shodan with a Shadow Ball, ineffective, 0 effective against a normal type, with the finishing Drill Peck. And now we face off the last Elite Four, Lance, the Dragon type. We know that this is the biggest challenge since Dragon types are OP in early generations. He starts off with a Gyarados and we have no idea how to handle this. We use an Ice Beam to deal a normal damage. We switch out to Pinwheel and we just fast forwarded it to when he used a full restore and he puts out Dragonite. Dragonite with level 60, the strongest pseudo Pokemon in Generation 1. Well, actually, Dragonite is the only. So we put out Nunchaku to finish it with an Ice Beam. Ice Beam having a 4 times effect against a Dragonite since it's both Flying and Dragon. Now Dragonair, it did not one-shot since it's only times 2. We cannot risk Nunchaku, we cannot risk anyone, therefore we put out Buster. Buster took the damage from the Hyper Beam and we know the next turn of Dragonair would be an unmovable move since Hyper Beam needs a recharge. An Aerodactyl we know has a rock type move, can one-shot Buster. We put out Pinwheel to nullify the damage with rock and flying, dealing a normal damage and finishing the job. Lastly, he has a Gyarados and we just put out Pinwheel to outplay this Gyarados using Stun Spore with the classic combo Stun Spore, Leech Speed, and finishing it with a Petal Dance. For the last Pokemon of Dragonair, we put out Buster once again to finish the Dragon Claw. Now we face off for the last time our rival Gary to determine who will be the champion. We only have 4 Pokemon left and we played it safely after that first Elite Four, and now he starts off with a Pidgeot and we put out with a Nunchaku. As we know, he always starts with Pidgeot. We use an Ice Beam, use it for the second time to finish Pidgeot. Pidgeot fainted, he puts out an Alakazam. As he uses an Alakazam, I relied on Hero or Shojin to do the job. We use Leer to have a higher damage of the Drill Peck on our next turn. We know that Psychic does so much damage and it did not one-shot Shojin. We know Shojin is faster and caused Alakazam to faint. 4 Pokemon left, he uses Rhydon and I can switch out to Nunchaku or Pinwheel. I used Pinwheel and Pinwheel did the job. We know there's a Future Sight and we're really relying on numbers on this time. Luckily, Future Sight was not as powerful as we expected. However, Future Sight was buffed in later generations and Pinwheel one-shotted that Rhydon. 3 Pokemon left, he uses Arcanine, I can switch out to Nunchaku or my Shojin. Switch out to Nunchaku since water is again stronger than fire. His Nunchaku uses a Flamethrower, did not deal much damage, but his extreme speed did more. His Surf did not one-shot Arcanine, and we would do it again since we have no power enhancing moves. We use a Bubble Beam to prevent that heal from happening. Arcanine's extreme speed happened again, and we were able to live it another round. 2 Pokemon left, we used Nunchaku still. We can switch out, but we used Ice Beam for Executor, hoping that we would invest on the life of Shojin or Buster. In Buster, we use a Flamethrower to secure that last Pokemon, who will be Blastoise. We switch out to Shojin to have a clear around for Pinwheel. If this is a bait, as I call it, Shojin is the bait, sadly. We are going for the victory. This is the dilemma of greater good. Goodbye, Shojin, you will be missed. What is dead may never die. Pinwheel uses Stun Spore to secure the speed and to secure the chances of that 25% unmovable turn, and we use a Giga Drain from Pinwheel to prevent the Petal Dance in case Pinwheel might be critted. And in this we can see that we might win if we use a Petal Dance. We use a Petal Dance and therefore securing the win. And as we invested all the time for Pinwheel to defeat that Blastoise, we did it. We finally did it. With 2 Pokemon left, Pinwheel and Buster, you will be the champions who live. And everyone else will be what is dead may never die.